Hello everyone, welcome to Poking Dave. Today we have 31, 32, 33 starter decks. The Luffy, Zoro, which are probably the more favored of the 6 that came out, and 33 Kuzan. I think it's one of the less favored. I'm not sure. 100%. And then we got the Kid Killer illustration box. Yeah, I will let you know that yesterday's video was made, did not come out because I deleted it. It was 31, 32, 33 with the Rally Shakayaku promo card, the other illustration box. Yeah, I made the video and I'm trying to kind of remake the video with this. Which let's do the illustration box. Yeah, I made the video. I rewatch all my videos to make sure they're decent and they're, satisfactory, put it that way. I'd love for them to be a lot better, but I'm trying to get at least satisfactory out there until I can get an editor. But we got our killer card here from OP14 and our Captain Kidd from, I believe, 14. Having a little trouble with my sleeve, sorry. And then we got 16 and 15 with the EB04 mixed in. 16, 15. So yesterday's video was a flop because the video was, how do I say it? I was opening up One Piece and talking about Pokemon. And the video was about not doing the both Pokemon and One Piece together, or MTG and One Piece together, or anything together. No more scientific purposes, because I just don't like it. And if you like it, let me know. If you like the variety, seeing a little bit of One Piece and a little bit of Pokemon at the same time, maybe it works better than I think. Maybe it doesn't. If you rather just see Pokemon all by itself, Magic the Gathering by itself, One Piece by itself, then nothing there, folks. Then that's the videos I'll make. And I talked about, so that was the purpose of the video, to just put that out there. What I was going to go back to, sticking to one TCG. So, at the same time, just lost my thought. Well, I will say this, that I do have Asperger's spectrum disorder, which is a type of autism. They tell me it's on the high functioning side of the spectrum, which I guess is nice to hear. But it's one of the things that happen where I guess you're over focused on one thing and it can cause. There's a foil event card, and it is the prisoners are rioting. Okay, and then we got another rare. So nothing in the 16 set as usual. Let's see if 15 treats us any better. But yeah, so sometimes it's, my mistakes with my language, either stuttering or, saying the words a little fumbled. Cards go flying, unfortunately, accidentally. So mistakes are made, part of it, I guess. So yeah, I wanted, one of the things I talked about in the video was that my channel is not about like individual cards, the actual card, what the card's about, or, each individual character, if you want to call them that. Like Zoro, or Luffy, or Sabo. So I'm trying to create content that talks about a more broader take on the TCG as a whole. So I do like to talk about, the cards themselves if I can, or the set, and so forth. But I favor I think about topics to come up with, like the scalper video I made. It wasn't too deep into the scalper. There's a lot more that goes with it. There's our leader card. But can we get anything today? No. Another foil event. At least it's different. It's an order. Do not defy me. Okay, here we go. We got an SR. Borsellino. So that's pretty cool. We did get a little hit here. That's something. You won't hear me complain. It's better than nothing. Nice little card. Thank you. So we'll start in order 31. But I bring up, I like to bring up different topics and, talk about them and what they have to do with, like, either if I'm opening Pokemon or One Piece, what they have to do with that TCG, or as in a whole, what it has to do with the whole community. So here we go, Luffy. I think this is the #1 rated for the starter deck in that series, 31 through 36. At least that's what I found with the information I got. It is a banger of a card, I would say. I like the artwork. When I was a little kid, I used to say, my fists are going to go flying. That's one of the things I guess I used to say all the time. And that just kind of reminds me of that saying. So, all right, we got our pack of 16 here. I was watching a video last night and opening it this way, which that worked out nice. But the gentleman opened it. It was a little difficult, and his nail went into the card. He was opening it for another person, but making the video, and he obviously he has to replace that card or whatever that value of the card he would have to make up for. And I guess it was just an SR, and I'm sure the gentleman wouldn't worry anything about it because it's not like a $400 card or a $100 card. But, you know, I feel the same way. I would, you know, definitely want to replace the card. All right, Yamato. There's an SR. That's cool. I like it. So I try, and I'll show you with the next one. Let's go to number 32. We got the Zorro here. I will tell you, I open these from the bottom because there's usually tape, and there is tape. I've seen some videos with guys struggling, you know, cutting the tape. The bottom is so easy to open up on these. I hate to say it, but there's a lot of thievery going out on there, and you might want to tape the bottoms because that's where they would kind of open them with like a finger and get to the product very easily. But you know, I like the Zorro card. It is nice. He's got that samurai in his teeth, and he's got one in his hands, and he's just ready for battle. You know, this is a cool looking card too. You know, I mean, most all of them are beautiful cards, really nice. I mean, I think that's why we want the alt art and, you know, the mangas and stuff, because they just, you know, they do look better and better and better. So anyway, I try to open them, and it doesn't work a lot of times, but I try to separate that foil in between where the seal is, and sometimes it's very difficult, but sometimes it's very easy to open up. You got that little tab to rip down, and a lot of times it snags and it gets hung up here, and I bent actually a couple of cards that way, and so I don't use that trick from that little tab there. And then obviously, as I just explained, I don't use that trick, so I either go this way or break out with the shears. So anyway, yeah, so tomorrow we'll make up number 34, 35, 36 starter decks, and we will do the Rally Shakayaku illustration box. And hopefully I have a little topic, something to talk about. But that's, you know, that's where I'm at making these videos. I'm trying to, you know, I'm trying to be on the inside and looking outside at everything that's going on in this community with the One Piece. And thankfully it's not as bad. I hate to mention Pokemon while I'm opening this up, but we got nothing there. A couple of rares. But, you know, they are selling them side by side, so you go through the same thing trying to, you know, purchase this product. One thing I can say is if you go into a store for One Piece or any other TCG and they want to slit that seal on the product, I'd go up, I'd be like, yeah, give me those, as many as you can get. So if the limit's like 5, give me those 5 ETBs, and they cut the seal and they'll say, oh, no, thank you, and walk away. Don't say another word. Just like, oh, no thanks, and walk away. And then have your buddy do the same thing. I almost forgot number 33. That's the autism. That is right there in front of me. And I completely am putting these cards away. And almost forgot to include this. Huh. So, yeah. That happens. So we got the nice blue. Man, if you didn't know your colors, you could actually teach your children colors by looking at these shiny, shiny colors. So yeah, we got Kuzan. Beautiful, another beautiful looking card. And then we got our last pack of One Piece 16, set 16. I'm definitely looking forward to 17. I don't know, maybe I'm not. I mean, it's, to be honest with you, all of this stuff very expensive when you are on the chase. You know, when you're trying to, you know, put a set together. I don't know about a master set, but, you know, time consuming and very expensive to do that. But if you're trying to complete the set, you know, getting the alt art and, you know, the gold dons and, you know, everything that makes up a complete set can be very expensive. And then when you go from, you know, one set to the other, you know, you haven't even, you know, finished the one set and here comes the next one. I got to do a little homework and see just, are they all putting out their sets and their new, you know, product? And nothing. We got a little bit not too great today. You know, I that's how I run with these. I don't get anything for a long time, and then I'll pull like 1, 2, or 3, you know, alt arts or SPs, and I'm just thankful to be able to, you know, get them when I do. So a lot of times I don't jump up and down for joy and go nuts. Because it's just been so long trying to get them that by the time you do, you're like, oh, great, finally. That only cost me twice as much as I could have gotten it for just going to a card show and buying it from the table. But I love it because I love ripping the packs. So if that's what the way it goes, the way it goes. But anyway, if these sets come out, you know, who's putting what sets out, you know, back to back? What's the time frame in between? Because one of my last videos talked about, you know, these sets coming out too close together where you don't have enough time to be able to go out monetarily, you know, and because you can't, I mean, you could if you're rich, but if you're not, and for kids especially, it takes time to save up your allowance and go out there and buy an ETB or whatever the case might be. And it takes a while. So when you're coming back to back sets, you know, it feels like every, you know, other month at minimum, but even less than that, it feels like that. You are, you don't have a chance to really enjoy and just really take your time collecting and making your set. So, and then there's, you know, I like, you know, a lot of the different ones. So, you know, it's even more costly. But, so anyway, do you like, here's our hits for today. Do you like that they come out back to back every 6 weeks to 8 weeks, or would you like to see them, you know, come out a little bit farther apart? Maybe that would, you know, help with a lot of the problems we're having. Anyway, enough rambling. One Piece today, One Piece tomorrow. Maybe some Pokemon after that or in between. We'll see. Thank you for watching. Please like, please subscribe. I hope so you can continue just to get those videos at your ready and you can tap and watch the videos. Thank you. God bless you. Have a good day. Bye for now.